In the part 3, if I'm not mistaken, the previous video, I talked about the human resource that led me to where I was. Dr. Susie, who pushed me or who nudged me to write a book, Professor Cosmos, and Professor Aimwan, and then Toby Godson, who was my programming Visual Basic lecturer, and I kept in touch with him. These 4 people have been key to my current life right now that I am living. Of course, other than the PhDs I was surrounded by and the people like Tracy who kept saying, hey, you sound like a professor, or my niece who, said the same thing, or my mom, late mom, who also said the same thing. You sound like a professor, you're a scholar. She always said that to me the times we had some conversations. So now these key people have been part of my success story, my journey right now. Let's talk about after the screening. I did the screening, and my friend Tochi always had this. He's a risk analyst, so he had this don't put the cart before the horse philosophy. Like, don't celebrate the wins before it gets to you, which I kind of appreciate because he kept me on the edge every time. So I do the screening, and I did not know that as soon as the professor said I'd passed the screening, I was now his candidate. I didn't know. So I was always still anxious, still doing my thing, hoping not to try other options because there were other options to keep doing life, But I just wanted a change. I was tired of coaching in corporate America because, again, dark skin trying to coach that skin doesn't always work out. So I am trying to build my business, but at the same time, I'm like, I need to pivot. I had gotten a trademark. April 2024, I applied for a trademark. So I knew that I will be producing something. Sometime again in 2024 on LinkedIn, I posted, I should create an app for our people. Like, these are things that had been in my head, lingering, there. My life was spiraling. Like the universe was listening to my thoughts, my thinking pattern, the desires I had deeply. So I passed the screening, but I don't know that I'm a candidate yet. And I started admissions. Now I've done my transcript and everything. I also negotiated. Now this is for you as well. The school wanted me to send a hard copy of my transcript and hard copy of the recommendation letter. But I was proactive to say there is an electronic copy, etx.ng. Is it okay? Then the admissions officer said yes. So I had to inquire. I said, okay, can I also get my referees? They don't live around me. I live in the United States. My lecturer, Toby Godson, lives in the UK. My registrar lives in Nigeria. Now, the referees had to be in academia but both from my school, like in research, which Professor Ayman was now in research, Dr. Ayman. And then she also agreed, but I had to negotiate. It's not every time that everything is cut, the way it is. So I negotiated and she said yes. So negotiation is also key. And then she said it was okay. I did my admission process, finished everything like a month before time, then waiting period again. Finished about June 16th. I had to wait till July 17th to be nominated. Again, I kicked into doing some mini research, found out that the nomination might come from the sponsors, different things. Now, I did not know, I didn't want to reach out to the lab attendant or to the professor to say, have I been selected? Because again, corporate America had messed up my brain. It looked like you're asking for validation, so I didn't. July 17th comes and I get an email. Yes, you have been nominated. Congratulations. The same day, I hear, but that was July 16th in Nigerian time, American time, because that was July 17th in Korea. Next thing, I get an email saying, as an American citizen, let me talk about that one too. So I was supposed to file for my citizenship December 2023, but I forgot. Yeah, some of us forget to do those things because it wasn't really a big deal for me. And I finally remembered in September. My friend and his wife were doing it at the same time. So I filed September. December, I was invited for the interview. I went for my US citizenship interview and I got it, right? January, in as much as it wasn't priority, I paid for a passport. Now, in one of my videos, the first video that I made is going to be part 1. It's not like part 1, but it's just the TOECM Grad Research Chronicles. I talked about how when I was born, and as soon as I was like an adolescent, my mom, who always kept our travel documents and our birth certificates, I went and collected mine from her. And since then, I was very faithful with renewing my international passport every time, although I'd never traveled till 2015. As a matter of fact, when I went to an Abuja immigration office in Nigeria in 2015, and they saw that my passport was empty and they saw the other ones, the immigration officer got mad at me and said, "You better not come back here next time if you don't travel. How can you be wasting money renewing passport every year? You better travel somewhere." Eventually, I would get multiple entry visas to the United States. As a virgin passport, I had never traveled because, again, I didn't really care. My confidence could show that wherever I was comfortable. This is for those who are eager to travel out. Oh, no. If you're confident with yourself, people will see it. They can tell that you are confident. So, fast forward to my American passport. So, even if things didn't look like I had to do that, I just had to. So I eventually, due to my culture of always having my travel document ready, I applied for a document. Now that I had the blue passport, I was like, maybe now that I'm a citizen, because those people knew I was an immigrant when I was trying to coach them, Americans, just the same way Dr. Ben Omalu was resisted by NFL and the medical practitioners because he had his degrees in Nigeria and he was trying to talk that NFL players' contact sport also have a CTE problem. Of course, they disregarded him and said things like, "You're an immigrant." So I knew that was also an issue. But now that I was a citizen, I thought maybe now I can get federal clearance. Scam. For you to get federal clearance as an agile coach or scrum master, a company should have to do it for you. For the company to have to do it for you, you should have had it. So it was like an oxymoron. I'm like, now I have a passport that is useless for me in this country. I have a blue passport that is useless for me as an American in America. What do I do with it? So the conversation with Professor Cosmos eventually later was, as soon as he mentioned Korea, because I was thinking Japan, I said, "Oh," and then he said, "Koreans love Americans." Who doesn't love to be appreciated? I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So that is how the plan to go to Korea for grad school started. And then I did the applications and everything. And then when I was nominated, I was told, as an American citizen, we've waived your English language test. But if you want 50% scholarship, write a test of English as foreign language or IELTS test, and you need to score a band 6, and I scored a band 8. 9/9 for listening, 8.5/9 for speaking. Of course, the academic paper gave me issues and I was distracted, 7.0/9, and then reading 7.5, so I had a band 8. When my lab attendant saw it, she was happy because she said some people think we don't speak English as Nigerians. In the next part, I'll talk about that. English speaking as Nigerians.